Welcome back, traders. It's your daily trader, Ben.
And Kagan. So Ben, what are we doing today?
All right, so today's going to be a little bit different as per usual. You guys really enjoyed the daily cycle. So because you guys like the daily cycle so much, I figured I'd tell you a little bit about the weekly cycle because the
Awesome.
weekly cycle also gives great confluence to your analysis.
All right. Cool. And before you get into, nitty gritty about it, like, is there a big part of the confluence that goes into the weekly cycle? Is it a big part of your whole analysis?
The weekly cycle is basically going to give you your general bias of where the market is going, right? It's going to tell you, let's say we're looking at the market on Monday, right? If we understand the weekly cycle, we can have an understanding of what Tuesday is going to do. So before going in to the trading day on Tuesday, right, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have somewhat of a bias of where price is going to go based on the weekly cycle,
Got
right?
it.
And that might eliminate some POIs, validate some POIs, and or give you a good trading range to trade it, right?
Cool.
So let's go ahead and start off with the anatomy of the weekly cycle. Now, I just want to go ahead and preface that I was fortunate enough to learn this back in 2014. I was a part of the BTMM boot camp a while ago, and I actually really enjoyed learning this type of cycles. There are so many different cycles. And if you want to see more of these type of cycles, different types of price cycles, Wyckoff price cycles, and the different variants that come with it, make sure to absolutely slap that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
be trying to push out as much content as possible.
Right.
But anyways, let's get into the anatomy of the weekly cycle. Usually what happens first is on Sunday, you'll have a liquidity buildup, right? So the market's going to open for us in the US, that's 5 p.m. on Sunday, right? NY time, UTC 5. Right, Sunday has a nice little buildup, right? And if we know the daily cycle, like in the last video, we expect price to stop on the highs, right, and make a move, or stop on the lows and make the move higher. Here's our first move on Sunday. Coming into Monday, Monday is generally the false move of the week. All right, so here's the Asian session buildup on Monday, right? Here we have, again, fake stop hunts to the high, price moves down on Monday, right? So let's go ahead and
Right.
mark this out so you guys understand how the cycle is going to form.
And so, does the cycle like always play out the same way, you would say?
Not exactly. You have to pay attention to the previous week to understand how the next week will unfold. There is also a monthly cycle, but I don't
Oof.
want to confuse you guys as of just yet. For now, let's focus on just a singular week. Let's understand the basics, the anatomy of it, and then perhaps later down the road, we can start to get a little bit more introspective with these variants.
Ah,
So at first, Sunday's your initial buildup, right? Monday is your false move. Why is Monday your false move? Monday is your false move because that is the market makers stopping you out, right? Monday are market makers stopping you out, right? Why are they doing this? Because a lot of people who are trading at the beginning of the week are putting in their positions, and the market makers need to take that liquidity in order to move price higher or lower. In this case, market makers are pushing price down in order to take price higher. So what can we expect on Tuesday? On Tuesday, perhaps we come up a little bit, right? Have our initial buildup around here. And Tuesday makes the move of the week, like so. All right, so we can go ahead and consider this Tuesday.
okay.
Right? Understanding that we have now broke Sunday and Monday, right? So this would be weekly highs, right? And this would now be weekly lows. If we know that we have breached the weekly highs, right? This is considered a liquidity sweep of the weekly highs, right? And it gives great confluence that the market might sell off. So what comes after Tuesday? Obviously, Wednesday, right? And Wednesday is going to be considered your midweek reversal. right? So here's your buildup on Wednesday. And what do we expect? If Wednesday is the midweek reversal, and this is your Asian session, we expect again, stop hunts to the high. Maybe we have a divergence. And if you watched my previous videos, you'd understand that this divergence creates great confluence to tell us that these cells are definitely going to sell off. Wednesday will make the move, right? So this would be Wednesday. And then what we can expect is on Friday, the move to continue.
Right.
Right. So this is the general anatomy of what the weekly cycle is.
And so
right?
how many variants are there of this, you would say?
That is something you absolutely need to back test. This is the main variant. This is what the weekly cycle is. This is the intentions behind it are true, right? Because Mondays, again, we have to understand Mondays are your stop hunts, right? Tuesdays are recovering that stop hunt, actually initiating the real move. And then Wednesday is then trapping out all of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Wednesday is usually the midweek reversal. I made a huge mistake here. I can't even get my days of the week right. But my fault. Thursday, I knew something didn't look right here. So Thursday usually is a continuation of Wednesday. And then we have a liquidity buildup normally on the bottom, and then Friday is normally looking like that.
Got it.
And why does Friday look like this? Because we can then expect on Sunday, right? So Sunday would build up here, and we would then take out Friday again, right? And trap all the people who are buying out or buying up on Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
And so does the daily cycle, because I know we talked about before, like, does the daily cycle have a big effect on the weekly cycle, you'd say?
Absolutely. The daily cycle has a huge confluence to the weekly cycle, and are definitely two things you should definitely be combining, right? So let's go ahead and clear the chart, and I'll show you a couple of diagrams and examples of how this all works, right? So for example, let's say it is now Monday in London, and this is what we're given on Mondays is all we have, right? And if you watch my videos on the daily cycle, you understand that the market needs to hunt either Asian highs or lows, perhaps mitigate, tap something on lower time frames, right? Lower time frames, hence lower time frames. Just want to make sure I get that clear. And we're going to make a move, right? Once Monday establishes a move, right, we can assume Monday to be the false move of the week, right? Assuming that we have stop hunted here, right, we now need to go back into accumulation, right, or the Asian buildup. Now it's Tuesday. What can we expect? Well, if Monday made a move to the downside, and considering previous liquidity, right, we cannot, another thing I need to mention, we cannot just look at the week that we're trading in. It can't just be a 5-day look back. All right, I don't want to give away all my nuggets, but here's what I will say. When you are trading the weekly cycle, make sure you have at least a 2 to 3 week look back on each week and see how all of those weeks kind of coincide with one another, right? If you're able to identify how the market is moving from week after week, you will be able to capitalize on huge swings, right? So for example, here's our false move on Monday coming down into Tuesday, right? So we can expect Tuesday to do what? Stop hunt the lows, make the real move, right? Understanding that we have just cut all of this liquidity here, and now that it's Wednesday, right, we can now expect stop hunt to the high, right? And then Wednesday to make the reversal. Thursdays are then continuations, and then Fridays are then going to fake out the wrong direction, right? Now, everyone has their own kind of version of the weekly cycle. This is what I have personally learned, and this is what I personally see the most. There are a bunch of different variants, and in some other videos, I do want to go over to these variants, but for now, I just want to keep this video pretty simple, pretty short. We can go straight into a live example, and hopefully after this live example, you guys will be able to understand kind of how the market moves. So let's take this week, for example. All right, I believe this was Wednesday, right? So Tuesday, Monday, here we go. So this is Monday, right? And I'm kind of going to try and draw out the weekly cycle here. Let's understand that these are your previous day lows and these are your previous day highs, right? Those are important to mark out. Those are very important liquidity. It's important in terms of understanding liquidity. Here is your buildup, right? And here is London making that false move, right, on Monday. And as you can see, we stopped out everybody on Friday, right? Here's Friday. Everybody's doing the opposite, right? Buying up. And what does Monday do? Monday stops out all of those Friday traders, right? They just trapped all these traders. Monday comes back up. We come back down. Here's our buildup, right? Understanding the daily cycle, we come right back down. Tuesday makes the real buying move, right? Now, unfortunately, we did not sweep these highs. We actually created EQD, which now actually makes me assume that we're going to take out these highs eventually. But we have now just made equal distant highs, right? Tuesday comes along, makes the real move, and here's Wednesday. Wednesday has now done what? We have cut all of this weekly liquidity, right? We have cut weekly lows. Because we have cut weekly lows and Wednesday are our reversal points, we can now assume this to be the lows of the week, right? So assuming that these are the lows of the week, right? So here's Wednesday, stop hunt to the lows. Here's the midweek reversal. We can now assume Thursday to go higher. And assuming we cut these equal distant highs right here, we can assume Friday to make that false move right back down, perhaps back into this liquidity, and then back on Monday to make those stop hunts again next week, and then Tuesday to take the move back up.
That's kind of crazy.
So hopefully you can see how understanding these cycles can help you forecast price numerous days in advance, if not weeks in advance as well.
So how much would you say, your idea of, buying or selling a certain pair is affected by the weekly cycle compared to, to the daily cycle and everything like that?
So are you asking which pairs are affected by the weekly cycle the most? Or?
Sorry, let me rephrase. How much do you think your decision on whether to sell or buy a certain pair?
I see what you're saying. Now, the weekly cycle shouldn't be a buying or selling factor. The weekly cycle is used to give you directional bias of the market. So say here it is now Wednesday, right? And we saw that we have cut Monday and Tuesday lows, right? Well, because we have cut Monday and Tuesday lows on a Wednesday, and knowing that Wednesday is that midweek reversal, we can assume Wednesday is going to buy. And we have to figure out where this might buy.
Got it.
Right?
All right.
So that gives us a general bias. But yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please, again, make sure to subscribe, like that like button, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at seisners.trading.journal. We'll put that all in the description. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to either Kagan and I, and we'll be sure to answer anything that you guys have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
Hopefully, yeah, next week we're going to be doing other types of cycles such as Wyckoff price cycle, BTMM cycles, and a bunch of other things like 333 trades and whatnot. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Peace.
All right, man.